Hello, welcome to my tutorial on Python. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about list comprehension. So we will be talking about what are list comprehension and why we need it. Then we will create a sample list comprehension. Then we will use a if-else condition within the list comprehension. Okay, before going into list comprehension, let's understand why we need it, right? So I'm going to create a sample list 1 2 3 4 5, and now I want to square each and every element in this list, right? So what we do is we generally use a for loop, right? So what we do is for each item in list A, we are going to print the square of it, right? Item into item. So what this for loop did was it took each and every element in list A, then it squared itself. So 1 is 1 squared, 2 is 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and similarly 5 squared is 25. So now if you want to store the result in a list, right, the square of the elements, let's create a sample list called B, which will store the result set of A, right? So what we do is we get each and every element, then we use the append function of the list, then we add the square numbers into that list, right? So now you can see that the result set are being stored in a list called B. So we have A, which has the numbers 1 to 5, and list B, which has the square of those numbers. Okay, so this is how you process a normal list. Now the same operation where we took 2 lines to create list B, in fact 3 lines, because you defined the list B, then you have a for loop for processing each and every element, then you have a line to append the new result set into B. So now using list comprehension, you can just do it in one line. So how do we do? So you create the new result set, which is again a list. So you create a list using a pair of opening and closing square brackets. So we have created a list B. So now you are going to write a list comprehension to create a list in more concise way. So now what you do is for each item in A, right, what you want to do is you want to square. So now the same result that we did with 3 lines is being performed with just 1 line. Oh, doesn't that sound very simple? So that's what a list comprehension is used for. It's a clear, or it's a more concise way of creating lists, and we create a new sequence by operating on each and every element of some kind of existing sequence. So we created a new sequence here called B, new sequence or list, by iterating over each item of list A and squaring its values. So this is what list comprehension is used for. Now let's see how we can apply a if-else logic within the list of comprehension. So if you see the first example where we process each and every element of list using a for loop, so let's try to apply a if-else condition within this for loop, right? So now assume that you want to square only the value 5. So what you do is okay, let's create a list A with 1 2 3 4 5, then B, which will store the result of squaring each and every number for each item in A. Now let's assume that you want to just square the value of 5. So what you do is you use a if-else condition, right? So you say if item equals 5, then you say b dot append. B is the where you store your result. So b dot append item into item. Then you have a else statement. Then so if it's not 5, you just append that result, right? So now if you notice, only the value of 5 is being squared, right? All other elements are just being populated using the if-else condition. So the same logic can be applied in list comprehension using the if-else condition within the list comprehension. So now we say that if item equal to 5, then you square, else you just give the item which is not squaring it, basically. So now you can see that the same for loop has been reduced to just one single line, and in fact list comprehension are very fast in their processing compared to the for loop. So we have seen what are list comprehension. We created a sample list comprehension, then we have used the if-else condition within our list comprehension in this tutorial. Hope it's much clearer now on list comprehension. Thanks for watching my video. You can watch my other videos on Python. Thank you.